I'm sending this to you because I want you to put these concepts into your mind before you get here so that you're ready to go as soon as you arrive. So, this is time, or at least I'm going to use this as a model of time. This is actually a piece of wood, but as George Box once said, all models are wrong, but some models are useful. So we're going to use this to represent time. So there's three concepts I want you to get your head around. The first is the orientation of incursion. So if you're trying to get inside this piece of wood, coming in from this angle just does not work. It takes too much energy. This works okay, but it still takes a fair amount of energy. The trick, the secret, is to come in from the end, like this. Now, obviously, you need to be able to get inside the time stream in order to face it end on. That's where the technology comes in. I'll show you when we get to the lab. The second concept is the angle of the, how would you say, the angle of what you're trying to insert into the time stream. So, if you have a thick angle, intuitively, it takes far more energy to insert this into the time stream than a narrower angle. So again, we have the technology to wrap the item that's being inserted into time to make the angle of approach much tighter, much smaller. Again, I have the technology, no one else does. The third item, or the third concept, is that, again, we wouldn't actually have this thickness, but it's easier to demonstrate this way. So as you insert matter into the time stream, obviously time is slippery, and so it's always trying to push it back out to the time of origin. So what we have to do is we have to cloak it or shield it with, basically have to make the tachyons stickier so that time grips onto it, so just letting it slide back out. So that's one component. The second component, of course, is that some slippiness still remains, so you still need to push it, have ongoing force from the point of origin just to keep the, just to maintain the temporal stability. Otherwise, it squeezes back out and you don't get to where you're hoping to go. So, again, the three concepts. One is the angle of attack, or the angle of incursion. The second is minimizing the temporal profile to have it as narrow as possible. The third has two parts really. One is that you need to increase the stickiness, or the temporal coefficient of friction, if you will. And the second part of that is that you have to maintain external force to keep in place, otherwise you will pop back to your point of origin. So hopefully that made sense. If it didn't make sense, rewatch this video. I need to get back to the lab. Don't make me regret having hired you as my assistant.